Hey everybody, welcome back to another Flipping Tables. My name is Sean.
And I'm Tico.
And today we have a beast of a game. No, I mean literally, the game is called Beast. And it is actually a beast of a game.
It's a big table presence.
Very big table presence, nice big box. We love this game.
Yeah.
And let's show you why. Here's the box.
This is a board.
I am just out of words today, Tico, because this game is so good.
And there's so many things. We don't want to miss anything.
There's a lot going on. This is the board. It barely fits on the screen. It is so big. This is the basic setup of the board itself. We've got meeples representing basically the population of a village or a settlement here, red, and we've got red and white. This area here is clear, and we'll get to the reason why that is in just a minute. And we have locations around the map with either sheep, pigs, or in the far corners we have bears.
Yes.
And so that's the wildlife on the ground, on the terrain. Now, the object of this game is this is a one versus many game. So a player is going to take on the role of a beast, and which is Tico. Tico's the beast.
I always pick, the one. That way my victory is always just mine. I don't have to share.
You don't have to share victory.
I don't have to share victory.
So the players are going to pick a specific beast they want to play as. One player is going to pick a beast. So Tico's going to pick the Boardgame, for example, and it's going to tell you on here how what the Boardgame can do, what actions it has, what abilities it has,
health, its terrain preference.
Yeah, exactly. And each beast also has a summoner, can bring out another creature that will try to defeat the hunters. Now the object is the hunters are trying to defeat the beast or survive 4 nights. Okay, and
could be 4 nights depending on the scenario.
Right, there's different scenarios. Some are 3 nights, some are 4 nights. So the hunters are trying to survive and make sure that the villages survive the beast for a certain number of nights. The beast wins if they can get rid of either the hunters or they can get rid of certain number of communities, basically number of people killed. So let's show one of the.
This is one of the scenarios. So there's going to be different scenarios. So it may be different numbers of villagers dead. It might be different numbers of livestock dead. It may be a certain number of hunters.
Right. So here we can see the end of the contract. The beast wins if there are 3 villagers dead, and the hunters win when the beast is dead or when the final night is reached. And in this case, there's 4 nights. There's the first night, second night, third night, and then a final night. And after every night, you get rewards if you succeed in that challenge for that night. So the first night, for example, the beast has a challenge of killing 2 sheep and 1 pig.
Or 1 pig.
2 sheep or 1 pig, I'm sorry. And the beast has been dealt 1 damage, the hunters get a reward.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you want to keep up getting these rewards, getting some ability to spend. The grudge tokens
is the currency for both players. It's called the grudge. This is what's used to upgrade your character when you get to the upgrading area.
There's also in this game a drafting at the beginning of every night. And here's one thing I love about this game is on the side of the board there's a reference as to what to do at dawn, what to do during the day, and what to do at night. And typically that's facing, it's double-faced board. This is facing the players, and this side is facing the beast, because the beast sits on this side of the table. The players are typically going to be over there.
And the reason for that is this is a north, south, west, east orientation for the beast. The beast's movement is hidden. The beast placard goes on, and it starts in the center of the board. Normally it's standing up on the fun little standy thing. And from there, that's the last known location. And so the beast will make its movement from there, and it needs to be on this side because remembering where you've moved.
So the beast has, we'll get to the action cards in a minute. The beast has movement cards, north, east, east, and there's a whole stack of these cards, including no movement. So the beast can go through and pick any one of these cards they want, say, I'm going to move there. They have to remember where they moved to, and they're placing these cards.
Yeah.
They're placing these cards down, saying this is the order they moved, so they need to remember exactly where they are, where they've been.
And where they've been. And you're not picking up the your placard.
No, the placard does not move unless you've been discovered.
Unless you've been discovered. So you've got to know that, because what happens if the hunters go looking for you and they happen to stumble across a path you've taken, you actually drop one of these little track tokens on that spot. So you go, oh, he's been here.
He's been here. That's right. So the beginning of every turn, the beginning of every round, there's going to be drafting involved. So you're going to deal out a certain number of cards to each player, and they're going to, per character, you're going to choose a card and then pass it around. And then from the deck you receive, you're going to choose another card until everybody has a set number of cards. So it's card drafts, and each card has two abilities. One, the top is the ability for the hunter, the bottom is the ability for the beast. And so you've got to kind of take into consideration cards you don't want the beast to have, but also you need cards that are going to help you either gain resources or do attacks or gain items.
Everything's done with these cards.
Everything,
as well.
All your actions are done using an action card during your round, and you can only do up to two actions per turn, depending on the color of the card. You can do one red action and one blue action per turn, and that is all you can do. And then those cards are discarded for that round, so you really have to be strategic as to what cards you use and when. There's also the ability to just get rid of a card to move if you want to just spend it and don't do what the card says, and you can just move. There's a lot going on in this game, and I know we're not going to cover everything. The general gist of the game is you want to collect, as a hunter, you want to collect hunter items, which give you more abilities. It's going to add directly into your hand, which gives you longer turns, because the round is going to continue until you have no more cards left or no more actions you can do, and you have to pass. And then your round is over until everybody passes. That's when the round ends. And so you want to get these cards in your hand because they go directly into your hand for you to use like your next turn if you want.
And they stay, and then you're supplementing them with your action cards.
That's right.
The beasts have a similar deck, a separate deck, the Beastly Talents deck, that adds, again, red and blue cards, allowing you to move, allowing you to purchase extra stuff, allowing you to do different things.
So it's really a lot of balance. The dice drafting, the hidden movement. As a hunter, you're trying to determine where you think they've gone. If they attack and you realize they've gotten rid of a sheep, they've attacked a sheep, you kind of know where they are at that moment.
Yes.
Right? But the turn's going to keep going, and if you don't get to that spot that turn, who knows which direction they went. So it's always that seek, and then there's abilities to seek, to search an area and attack if you think that's where the monster is, and then they have to show if they are. And again, it's literally a one versus many, and the push and pull of knowing, the balancing of your cards in your hand and the movement and deciding, trying to figure out where the creature is and try to do damage to it. It's really, really fun. Now, there were little things that I nitpicked a little bit at, and this is me personally, and I think a lot of these, after speaking with the developer, there's some balancing issues I found that they're working on. They're definitely working on this. This is prototype.
Yeah, prototype. So
this is all. I mean, it's a beautiful prototype to begin with.
I love it. I love the look of this. The art is gorgeous on this.
So there's different characters, and here's one of the things that I was a little disappointed in. Each of the characters. So we have Varja, who's the commander. Basically, what makes her a commander? I would think, okay, well, she's got special abilities as a commander. Well, when it really comes down to it, she has a single card, this card right here, command, which is one of the cards in her hand. That's what makes her different than everyone else, okay? She has an upgradable ability down here, which makes her a little bit different as well. The problem I had with it were these grudge, you have to spend 2 of these grudges to upgrade that ability. The problem I had were these grudges were so rare to come across
for the hunters
that I'd never wanted to spend it, because at the same time, if we have a quick look at the action cards for the hunters, the hunter action, a lot of them have, and of course now do I have the wrong deck?
You've got the wrong deck.
I have the wrong deck. I'm sorry. That's the action cards. Here's the hunters.
The item cards.
The hunter items. They have a 1 on the side, meaning I have to spend a grudge to use this card.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of cards in this deck that require you to spend a grudge to use. Otherwise, that card is sitting in your hand that can't be used if you don't have grudges.
If you don't have grudges, and there's very few. For the hunters, they gain grudge with their special cards that allow them to gain grudge, and a few of the rewards for the knights.
There are 3 cards in this particular deck, and there may be more at release, but there are only 3 cards in this deck that give 1 grudge to the hunter if they use that card. But if the beast takes that card,
then it's
and
that's part of the drafting. The beast, however, gains grudges every time the beast kills a sheep, pig, person, bear, hunter. They gain grudge.
Right.
So you can, and they also start with a grudge as well.
And at the same time, the beastly talents we found don't require, for the most part.
There are a few.
But for the most part, they don't require a payment. So there was a little bit of an imbalance, I felt, with the grudges. It just felt like they were so rare for a hunter that I never wanted to upgrade the characters, and that just made these characters generic, in my opinion. They had 1 card that did something different than someone else, and of course, once you've used that 1 card per round, it's gone. You know.
Yeah. And the beast also has significantly more upgrades that they can do as well, so that really makes them quite powerful at a certain point.
Yeah, so they can upgrade a lot of things. It costs more, so they obviously, but I just feel like there needs to be a faster or better way of gaining tokens.
More opportunity, I think, for the hunters to, again, I played the beast, so I was more than happy that you weren't, overpowered, but there needs to be more opportunities, I think, for the hunters to
use their abilities. Yeah. Otherwise, to me, they just felt a little generic. That didn't take away from the fun of the game. The game was still a lot of fun to play, really challenging.
Yeah, really enjoyed that sort of that dropping cards. I mean, at one point I moved down 2 spots, then back up 2 spots in order to make you think like, oh well, he's run away 4 spots.
But I knew exactly what you had done at that point. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But this is Beast, and it is coming to Kickstarter soon. So check that out, and we're hoping to have an episode of Kicking Tables as well, speaking to the developers of this game. I believe it's the end of September that Beast comes out. So you definitely need to check this out. It is fun. Again, this was the prototype that we're looking at, so there are some balancing issues that we experienced, but they were not enough to make us not love the game. We
still love
the game.
The art, absolutely beautiful. Definitely recommend checking out that Kickstarter.
Absolutely. Thanks for checking out this episode of Flipping Tables. We'll see you next time. If you like this review and you like reviews like this, and please hit that subscribe button down below. That would really help us out. We appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by. Hit it. No, right there.
You're being too pushy.